topic where you're talking about being scammed in a sense, you know, the scams of life. Nothing in life is free. I'm sure we've heard that shit before. Anyways, you know what to do. And if you don't, you're not a real fan. Alright. Whoops. Okay. So, there's this popular thing on the internet, on Instagram.
Yeah.
You see people talking about it quite fucking often.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit aggressive. No, I wouldn't say they're aggressive. I would say that they try to make you feel jealous in a sense. Like, look what the fuck I'm doing. Y'all could be here, but you're not, because you don't have the mindset. That's kind of their mantra for like every Forex person.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Only because I know one really well, and this dude is like a beast. He's a beast. Again, this is somebody I actually used to manage music-wise, but this dude, like, when I say he be on it, he don't be on it, and it's like, he ain't trying to force you on nothing. He'll inform you of the information that he got. You want it, it's there for you to take. If not, okay, but you know, it's an asset. Again, at the end of the day.
So what do you like think about Forex in general? Like, what do you think about it? Like,
after having that conversation, it's more so of like, it's no different than, in my opinion, than what you're doing with stocks. It's no different. Again, it's still a gamble at the end of the day. You're putting your money into something and trying to get something out of it. At the end, that's how I just see it. It's no different than stocks. All the thing different is you're playing with money now. Like, this is money you're playing with. And there's certain things and certain levels that you just gotta know how to maneuver and make the deals. The system itself kind of works. It's just you have to manage. You kind of have to manage the situation and just really pay attention to the numbers. If you're not one of them people who's not gonna put nothing in it, don't expect to get nothing out of it.
that's true, and I feel like that would apply to almost anything that you would want to do in life. But have you tried Forex out?
I'm going to. I just haven't got to that. Again, I am focused on solely the consulting firm right now. I'm just trying to build that up. But I am definitely going to tap into those avenues. If you do want to hit somebody up, best believe I'm going to plug his name right here. This is his IG name. Hit him up. Hit up Nate. He'll definitely get
Nobody
you
can see that shit. What? At only Nathaniel?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what
definitely.
the name is. He
I
is,
was gonna wait until you really like dive in on one of the questions that's gonna ask that I'm gonna have to answer the same thing. It's just more so of how you structure marketing. This is just a different form or level of marketing that they go about it, and it can be a little bit overbearing depending on who you meet. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. It's just a different way of marketing.
It is tempting. I do see a lot of them on trips and shit, and I'm like, damn, I want to travel too.
Again, try.
No, I'm gonna try it. I try everything at least once or whatever, and enough people are trying it to where, you know, I fuck up, I'm sure I can find someone else who fucked up, and we can be pissed about it together. And if I do well, then, like, you know, we'll succeed together and some shit like that. But that's my view on Forex. I just don't like how they're like trained to recruit people. I feel like you should always be straight up with people. So I like the people who be posting like, oh, you have to have this much, you have to have this, have to have this. And I'm like, well, see, that does a good job. So
yeah. I agree too. I agree with you.
Why do you agree?
Because I feel like Forex is a whole bunch of bullshit.
You guys, if you're wondering who this voice is, this is Kiara. You may remember her from the fitness panel. This is the person who I was telling to shut the fuck up if you saw me mouth that. Yes, because she and my friend over there, they're just being wild.
Well there. Alright. Like I was saying about the Forex. You Forex, you a whole bunch of shit. Bullshit.
Oh, okay. Alright, so that's her language on that shit. Oh, okay. Who's there? Oh, what's up? So many interruptions tonight, you guys. But we love to see it. Okay. So, let's move the fuck on. Shit.
Hey, that's kind of high.
It is kind of high.
Is that or this candle? Which one is it?
The candle.
Okay.
Oh, that kind of adds an effect. That was kind of unplanned, you guys, you know? I'm sorry it's taking me so long. It's kind of burning my fucking fingers off. Okay, next question. Have you ever been scammed before?
Yes.
Tell us the story.
So I was
This was quick, okay.
yeah, I was in Austin and I had got this other opportunity to make some money. They sent me they was like, okay, we'll send you a check, and like all you have to do is just deposit the check in your bank account, and like we'll let you take the money and you buy whatever you need, XYZ. Wiped out my whole bank account.
Bitch, that happened to me too. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I felt so stupid.
And the lady at the register at that time, she was like, "Hey, this is a fraud check. I just want to let you know you should not do this, but you're a grown person. You'll do what you want to do."
Oh,
so.
she warned you.
Yeah,
See,
I got
that
warned.
was different from me. They told
warned.
me it was a legit check. I was like, hey, is this real? They were like, I don't see why it's not real. And they cashed it right for me. I was like, what the fuck? So, and then when I bounced back, I tried to go to them and be like, yo, what the fuck should I do? They're like, oh, you're going to have to pay it off. And I was like, whoa, okay. So, I was like, okay. So I pretty much just switched bank accounts. I was like, I'm not paying that fucking shit. Are you
That's what
fucking
I did.
serious?
That's
No,
exactly what I did.
it's still in the negatives. I don't give a fuck. And so, when I switched bank accounts, like, they called me, like, almost a year later. And they're like, trying to set something up. And I was like, no, I got scammed, I'm not going to pay. And they were like, oh, you got scammed? And then all of a sudden they had all of these options. So I was just like, what the fuck? Y'all's people told me I didn't have any other options, but now they have options. So I don't know. I think banks be scamming. I think people who work for banks be scamming people.
Well,
they be trying to find a way to keep your interest.
If you go back and look at it, we all know how Wells Fargo had that whole situation.
Yeah.
Scammers. I'm just
Go
saying.
ahead and remind us of the situation.
So a story came out where a couple of, I don't know specifically how many, but tellers was literally like stealing money from people's accounts. I don't necessarily know the details of it, but I read the story enough to know they got a lot of people fired and they said, yo. Yeah, that part.
Yikes. I do this for likes. Shit. Okay, so I think that was the only time I got scammed. And that time I got scammed too, it was like supposed to be like this, I think this photo shoot situation, and I just really wanted to do it. And so he gave me money to buy outfits and shit, and then, you know, he had me like send him over like a money order or whatever, so the shit bounced back. You know what's funny? I asked so many people, I was like, do you guys think this is real? Do you guys think this is real? Most people said yes.
I said no.
And yeah, I was gonna get to that. See, Leos don't fucking know when to shut the hell up. And I can talk about it because I'm a Leo. They don't know when to shut the fuck up.
Not that conversation again.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
No. Alright, so the only person who told me that like she thinks it's a scam was my friend Alondra. She was like, no, I don't think you should do it. And I was like, this bitch is a hater. Fuck her. And so I did it anyway.
That's her attitude, y'all. Say it again.
Because everybody was saying yes, so when that one person is saying no, you're like, bitch, fuck you. You don't want to
That'd
see
be
the
the
show.
right friend.
Huh?
That'd
That'd be
be the right
the right friend, but like that's what made me know she's the right friend. You know what I'm saying? I would have never known.
Aww.
We don't have to talk about you.
bitch.
Anyways, have y'all ever been scammed before?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
What the fuck? Are y'all the scammers?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sometimes it depends. It depends.
Absolutely.
We all have a scammer friend.
Who's the scammer? Huh?
Bitch, don't be pointing at me.
I don't know.
We all got a scammer friend.
You really have to have a personality for it.
You do. You have to be willing to commit to a scam if
Yeah.
you're gonna scam somebody. You really
Because
do.
it's,
Like you don't got no, what is they always say? You ain't got shit to lose.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And what they gonna do?
Yeah, absolutely.
They gonna haul me away. Okay. It's the only way it could get worse.
That's some funny so I don't know. That's some weird shit. Have y'all ever been scammed before on the couch? No? Are you guys serious? So I'm the only person who's been scammed?
It's okay. I'm with you.
Thank
All
you.
two.
See,
All
try
two.
everything once. That's how I am.
I mean, you wouldn't have known if like it wasn't a scam if you hadn't have done it. I mean,
Thank you for
Exactly.
making
It
me
wouldn't have been a scam if it is.
I mean, hey.
I got scammed twice, so it's okay.
Okay, I only got scammed once. Now I'm like skeptical about everything. I'm like,
As you should be. As you should be.
The second one, I knew it was a scam, but it's
what's the second
I
story?
can't speak on it.
Okay, you can't
Okay.
speak on it, so we're gonna go to the pod. Sis, okay. Blessing, oh, speaking of scams, blessing looms and pyramid schemes. Alright, so now my other friend, who's not here, she's a nurse, go essentials, okay? But she like convinced me to do this blessing loom thing, and I got inside the fucking group chat, paid my $25, and like everybody is just talking about, we need to clear the boards, we need to clear the boards, and like the chats are moving so fast, but nothing is happening, and I'm like, why is it taking so long for me to get to the middle when I was told that I was gonna get to the middle like that? I was gonna make my fucking $200 like that. And so I'm just like, sounded like a scam, but you know, my motto, try everything once. And then my friend was trying it, and my friend is a Virgo, so she's grounded, right? So I'm thinking she's level-headed. I'm like, if she's doing it, I could probably do it too.
So you realize that's 2 times you've been scammed.
Okay, so I've been scammed. Only by, no. You gotta listen to the story. I haven't been scammed twice. So these blessing looms, it just sounded like an overall scam. It sounded like an overall scam when I was actually in there. And basically, I cursed them the fuck out until they gave me my money back.
What was it? Like what is
It just took too long for me to make $200, so I didn't want
okay.
to stick around and find out.
There was something like that came out. I remember it was a few years. It was like 2 or 3 years ago maybe, and it was something similar to that, where it was like you put money in a pot and then you get like you clear a board and you get your.
That's pretty much like what it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is, and yeah, I just didn't want to stick around. Like, they were having a hard time filling all the boards. They had so many boards. Then they tried to make another group chat for people who were just in the middle, and I was like, fuck no, I'm nosy as hell. I'm sneaking into this group chat, so I snuck into the group chat and tried to see what they were talking about. And I was like, they don't got no damn strategy at all. So I was like, fuck it, give me my money. And then the bitch took me out the main chat. I was like, that's right, bitch. You don't even know that I snuck in this chat. So I started going off in there.
Yeah.
Everybody tried to defend her. I was like, fuck y'all. I don't care. I'm not even broke. Like, I just want the money back.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
It's just $25.
I don't give a damn.
Like,
It's the principle.
It's a principle.
Yeah.
And that's how I am too. It's a principle.
It was
He
the
said, "Can't be
principle."
me."
Because I was trying to make suggestions on how we can clear the boards faster. And she would get pissed the fuck off every time I made a suggestion. So I was like, bitch, fuck you. Because I paid money for this. It's not like you're paying me. So let me make my suggestions, you know?
my name been a name in it.
Talk about it. We're on a podcast.
No, I'm just saying, like, don't put money into something you ain't afraid to lose.
Oh, well, I wasn't afraid to lose it. It
You
was
asked
just
for your money back?
well, it was the fact that she was being an asshole. And I was like, you can't be an asshole with other people's money. Give me my fucking money back.
That's
Give me my
true.
fucking money back. Period. You know?
I agree. I can't lie.
I
I
was
agree.
just dipped. I ain't got time for all that.
I wouldn't have it. I would have stuck around if I wasn't gonna get my money back. I don't give a damn. No. Yeah. You know? So, anyways, sizzle lizzle and a tizzle. Oh, do people really want to help you, or do they just want to help themselves? And when I ask this question, I'm talking about like people who come to you with businesses ideas.
Nah, they can't help me. But 9 times out of 10, they just want to help themselves. They just want to know pretty much what you got going on, how you do it, and then they're gonna take what you got and then go flip it on their own. But they left the key ingredient. Me. If I go through a whole process to learn this information, and you try to learn it like that, it took me 5, 10, maybe 15 years to do that, you're not gonna get the same answers. You're gonna spin your wheels more a certain amount of years to come up with this structure. You're just not gonna be able to figure that out on your own. I didn't even figure it out. I'm saying
Some people do.
some people do. Again, there's a lot of people who walk away from deals from Shark Tank and make money. There's a majority of them who don't.
Yeah. And so you're basically saying that you spoon feed.
Again, it's more so tailor-made specifically to the person. It's not spoon-feed. It's tailor-made for you. If your mindset can only hold a certain amount of information, that's your mindset. I cater that to you. I'm helping you grow your business. I care about you. If you don't work right, how's your business gonna work right?
That makes a lot of sense.
So I'm catering all the information I give you. I'm not spoon feeding you. I'm just trying to make sure that you have a level of understanding. So when you walk away, you might necessarily don't have to come back unless it's for something else that we have totally not discussed. It's a big difference.
Okay. I feel like, well, first before I talk, what do you guys think? Do you think like people are really trying to help others?
I think it depends. I kind of agree with what you're saying though. Like I get it. Like if people come to you for something, and you're giving away like free knowledge, because like you said, what if they didn't know any of that stuff? They walk away and then they're more knowledgeable. That can make them more successful. But what about you? That just helped them out. You don't really get anything in the end game. But I honestly just think it kind of. I think when you have a business, you always have to look out for yourself in a way.
I was gonna say, I think that if somebody approaches you for something like that, they're approaching you because they know that your help will help them.
Yes.
And it's vice versa. You're not necessarily going to take that on unless you think that it could also benefit you in some way. So it's got to be like a give and a take situation to me. You know what I mean?
But that's the part I agree with. Mm-hmm. What are you going to say?
It's just that at the end of the day, to be honest, you do get something back. It's just not in the same value that you look at it as.
Yeah.
Like prime example, if I go and say you came to me for a business adventure and then you tell people how excellent it was, that exposure that you had to that is going to gain me so much more traction with my business.
And that's true too, because it's whatever you value as what you're benefiting from a situation.
And you're not necessarily knowing that you're going to do this. It's just that you're going to be so amped about what you're doing that you're going to do that, and it creates that atmosphere. Mm-hmm. I already know that, so I want to put my best and pour into you as much as I possibly can, knowing that even if that doesn't happen, I did what I was supposed to do right with you.
I feel like that I'm the type of person who, yeah, like what Zach said, I'm like the give and take type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna approach you to help me with something if I can't figure out a way that you can benefit from it as well. And it fucking shocks me when people just want to do shit and not benefit from it. I'm like, bitch, are you gonna say in like 5 years that you helped me and never asked for shit? Like, cause I mean, I'm gonna be pissed off if that fucking happens.
That makes me ask you a question.
What?
Why did you do it in the first place?
What are you talking about?
Like, sometimes we're in positions that other people are not. And our job is just simply to help them get to a position where they can do it by themselves. Some people don't have that luxury. If you, because you're an awesome, amazing, wonderful individual, have that ability, you're going to go and give freely without asking for anything back. So you don't necessarily need that give and take, because again, you know the benefit is in you doing the right thing.
Well, I'm gonna still call it a give or take because I'm still benefiting from it, even if I'm not actually getting something. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, I feel like even with this show, like, I feel like people can think what they want because of whatever, but, like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like I offer opportunities or I offer content for people that they can use for themselves if they wanted to. And in return, I'm getting their voices as well. Like, it's helping me out. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like these type of things is, like, why I'm, like, really all about, like, creatives helping creatives. Because I feel like the only way we're going to move forward is if we're, like, genuinely caring about, you know, people doing well. Like, I'm always going to keep in touch. I mean, that's why the fuck you're back on the show again, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm always going to keep in touch with the people that came on the show because I genuinely, like, support you. I wouldn't ask you to come on the show if I thought you were trash, okay? Like, I saw your shit, and then I was just like, okay, come on the fucking show. Like, or I saw your work ethic, and I was like, okay, come on the show. Like, but... yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about the situation. Yeah.
It's like networking.
Yeah.
You know, you develop those networking contacts, and ultimately that'll be a situation where you'll be able to help one another at some point.
And I think it depends too at where you're at in your life too, because if you're at a point where you not necessarily feel, but like if you're helping me and I'm helping you, it makes sense. But some people are just like, I'm at the point where I can give that away and not need anything in return because I am in my mind successful where I'm at in my life. You know what I mean?
I give you a prime example. I got a business partner. We go back and forth. Like I don't necessarily help her. I'm just there to extend that hand if it's needed. Hand job. But it's like she gives so much. I just be like, dang, what can I do for you? Nothing. Because like, to be honest, the more I exist, the more I get things from her. Like, if she fixed my phone, she has an IT company. She fixed my phone because it cracked. Boom, automatic. She got a resource. She can automatically tap into it. Like, I'm gonna tell people that she fixed iPhones like for the low. All she do is go X, Y, Z, da 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 da, and then you got your same device, same day. You ain't like, it's that. Like, some people you just, I don't know.
I don't know. See, that's why I go back and forth with it, because I've had those friends where I'm like, okay, finally I have a friend who just genuinely wants to help, genuinely wants to support, they don't want anything from me. And then in the end, when we did have an altercation, it was all, I support you, da 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 da. I'm like, bitch, the fuck, I support you too.
Yeah.
So what the fuck do you mean, like, that you support me? That should be besides the point if we have an issue with each other.
I think it's more based off what you're saying. It sounds like more of an emotional connection to a person, not a business transaction. Because sometimes business transaction, you don't necessarily always.
Well, you were talking about your business partner helping you out. She was working with me too. So I mean, sometimes you're friends with people you work with.
But also, you're a very giving person, but you have high expectations of people, not necessarily to give back, but just like you hold people to different standards. So you feel like if I'm giving you something of mine that took my time, your money, like you expect something as equal in return, which I don't think is unfair to ask of anybody. Because I mean, you did it.
I had to learn that the hard way. You can't expect people to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You quit looking for you in other people, because you're not gonna find you for your reason.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Especially if someone's coming to you for advice or to help them. It's obvious, like, it's probably because they have something that you
I
don't.
give you a prime example, and I try my best to leave out of it as much. My mom is a little bit older, and for her to date, it's completely, totally different ball field.
Yeah.
For her to be able to have that opportunity, just for us to be able to talk about those things, gives us so much relief. Even though my dating life is trash, it's my actual experience that allows us to be like, oh, okay, but this is this. I understand it from a man's perspective. This, that, and the third. It's that. I can't get nothing back from that, you know, because again, she's less experienced than that. But I know that, again, the emotional attachment that comes to that, I have to sometimes remove it, because again, that's my mom.
I mean, it's not even necessarily an emotional attachment, because people like you work with, your coworkers, they do that shit too. Like, they find a way to one-up you or hold shit against you. So that's why I try to like never give people a reason to do that. Like, for instance, like at work, I'm like, transfer my calls. Don't take my calls from me. Don't do this for me. Or when I used to be a waitress, don't serve my food for me. I'm serving my food. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, serve my food, I serve your food all the time. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
I respect that, but I'm going to make a suggestion.
Make a suggestion. I'll probably decline it.
Yeah, you learn how to separate that. Because again, sometimes people just want to help and don't want nothing.
No. In the end, they always want something.
I don't want nothing from you.
I think at work they do.
At work,
I would say you gotta know who you're dealing with, though.
Because I'm the same way at work. I don't let people handle any of my cases or anything like that.
A lot of people I come across, they be like, hey, I know you do this, X, Y, Z, da, da, da. I was like, cool, all right, set up a meeting.
Right.
The reason why you set up a meeting is because you have to pay.
Yeah.
Like, it's just certain people you just like,
You know.
I'm going to make you go through a process, because I know what this is going to be like.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. You gotta have different gloves with certain people. So it just makes a lot, makes a lot more sense.
Next topic.
Don't try and read my mind. The fuck. Okay. Anyways.
Part of my job sometimes.
Okay. Would you ever date a scammer?
Nah. It ain't in me. I don't got time to be keeping up and keeping. Yeah, I don't got time to keep them people out for you. I ain't got time for that. It's not in my MO. I like to relax, enjoy, and go stuff places. I don't got time to be like, oh, can we?
Yeah,
Are we clear? Or are we in the?
Right.
Is somebody gonna? Yeah.
But you like the fast life, don't you?
I mean, as a scammer, I can understand that. I really can. I mean,
Nobody got time for that. I'm too grown, man.
Yeah,
No,
it dies down as you get.
You
Like,
said what?
it dies down as like in high school. That was like our big
Oh,
to
yeah, we
dos.
were big
Like we didn't
to-dos.
really, but you also just don't care in high school. You're like whatever.
we had the skills now. We don't use them.
Yeah,
as
we don't.
often
We have
as
the
we
skills.
used,
But no, really, we're kind of joking.
I think you should
But it
definitely
depends.
outgrow your scamming ways by 25. That sounds like
For
a,
sure.
Well, because then it's like
reasonable
something.
age.
Then it's a little like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
but we're
bitch,
not
you just
like-
don't give a damn about your life now.
Right now, we're not like credit card scammers. We're like how much?
Sadly.
No, unfortunately not. But
Okay. What kind of scammers are you guys?
Don't say that. Don't incriminate yourself.
Whoops. Sorry,
And
CG.
plus, I don't want to have
no,
to
it's
get your
always
hearing.
silly
I just
stuff.
try to
It's
get the
always like
fucking
silly
beat.
petty stuff. But it's just
That makes
funny to know like.
We're like PIs.
But
Are
I mean, people
investigators?
are kind
Yeah,
of so
okay.
gullible. Like sometimes it's sad. You're like, ugh.
Oh my god, it's not hard to get
See,
somebody to do
don't,
something.
like, see, that's what I don't like. Like, if you know that, just
I know
like,
it's sad.
I don't like to be
Yeah.
manipulative. That's the thing.
Yeah.
See, the reason why I worry about stuff like that is because what if this person is really crazy? And they
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Politics is bad.
I don't like to give people
That's a
a
fair
reason
point.
to
It's a fair
do
point.
Anything.
to do anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I try to be as upfront and straight up with people as I can.
Some people you can't because they just don't know no better.
That's true. Some people will always find a way to twist it into
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
you could have done something different, and it's like I don't have time for that.
That's
You
not
know?
like some Scorpio stuff.
That is some
We're not
Scorpio
going there.
stuff.
We're not
You
going
brought it up, so how the fuck you
'Cause I'm
said
being
not
petty.
going there? So
Based
I
off
mean,
the conversation we
that's the
previously
thing. That
had.
Leo Scorpio thing, I hate Scorpios.
And the only reason why I can say this because my 9 to 5, I'm working from home.
Okay, that's dope. So you see the checks coming through?
I mean, the check's not always clear.
They
Okay.
better.
The check's not always clear. It's just, it works well for people who are parents. It works well for people who have family members that they take care of. For a single person who live with roommates, would not work well for you. For people it works well for people who live by themselves. If you actually took care of your pet enough to be like, he's not gonna do X, Y, and Z, it'll work well for you. For that person who's single, who got a dog that just run around the house, it's not gonna work well for you. It's just certain situations. It's situational. Work from home is great. It's situational. I have 2 roommates, and because of my type of job, I have to be in a room by myself. Imagine being in a room by yourself, the same room you sleep in, and you're stuck on a computer doing work 8 hours a day.
I wouldn't
Wake up,
mind
do
that
it
if I
again.
had like an actual desk set up. These chairs I have in my house are kind of uncomfortable, you know? Can't do
But you're
8
just
hours.
a single person.
I'm just saying, like, for me with
If you
work
had
from home jobs,
roommates,
I don't do roommates.
exactly.
So,
My point.
I understand. I'm just giving my whole spiel on what I think about work from home jobs. I definitely could do one. I would really prefer one because I find I don't like to travel too often in my car because I tend to get pulled over. God forbid that happens anytime soon. So, but I mean, yeah, so I don't like to drive to work. I don't like being late too. I'm always late. So here at my house, I can be on time. Unless other people are
She
late.
still wake up late. I promise that.
No, unless
You need us 5
I've
minutes
been,
before.
I've been late working from home.
I wouldn't be late. I'd probably like be very not like presentable.
I was late for overtime.
Well, see, I mean, you know. I don't know. For me, it's hard to really.
I'm late to things I pay for, not what I get paid for.
See. I don't.
You're late for things you
I'm not-
pay
I know that sounds some dumb shit, right? I
But
go
you
to dance classes
wait, 'cause
late as
now
fuck.
I'm confused because you just said you was late for work.
I do be late for work, but I said I hate being late for work.
I respect the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm not coming for you.
I thought you
Listen,
were.
I'm not coming
Because
for
I
you.
might
I
have
was
with the
slightly
white wine and
confused.
the red wine, I
Slightly.
might have my mind twisted. Like, ooh.
Man, let me tell you what the wine.
So I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not sure. But forgot what the topic was. Next topic, shit. Yes. All right. So is it better to be an entrepreneur or to have a 9 to 5?
It depends on the person. It depends on the
Definitely.
person. It depends on the mindset of the person.
Totally.
If you're
Right
not
there
a
with you.
go-getter, don't do it.
At
Don't do
all.
it to yourself.
At all.
Keep your day. My mom always told me, like, it's those people who got hoop dreams. Keep your day job.
No, that's definitely true. I feel like some people are fit to be on a routine type of schedule. I'm not, like, and that's why sometimes I kind of hate when my jobs give me some free range, because I will take advantage of it. So, you know, if they're like telling me I can make my own schedule, I'm gonna really like make my own damn schedule. But sometimes they don't like that because it no longer fits the criteria, you know, that they wanted you for. So I don't know if I'm making any type of sense.
You make them perfect.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I'm totally feeling.
Even though I had that statement of, like, don't do it, I think everybody should have their own.
Have their own what?
Yeah, they should always have something to the side.
So definitely something to the side, but I definitely always also think that not everybody is meant to be like a business
Business, yeah, I get it.
person, like or an owner or a manager. Like some people just
Mhm.
don't have the leadership type of skills.
I'm not.
You don't have them?
No, we talk about it all the time because Skylar will come up with business ideas or something. I'm like I love that for you. But for me,
You know,
I know that about myself. Like, I like to go home and be done with my job.
I give you this, right?
Oh.
Everybody has a lane, right?
Mhm.
You can still be an entrepreneur and still not do the business stuff. Let's go back and look at a familiar story. Facebook is made up of one person, not
Mhm.
really. You had Eduardo who went out and did the get the ads, which is why you see so many damn ads on Facebook now today, because of what he done in that process. He didn't do none of the computerizing. He didn't touch computer. He went out and used what he got his guy, and he's still part of. We know one of the founders of
Mhm.
Facebook. Facebook is a computerized program. Again, so everybody has their own lane. You just got to know how to get with your friends or your peers or whoever the case you want to work with, and know your lane in that. And that's where a lot of people go wrong.
But I also feel like a lot of times when you're working for yourself, and the people who really don't have that mindset or they don't have the work ethic to really like do things on their own, or like not even on their own, but like even like something like this,
Mhm.
right? They don't have the mindset to commit to something like this. I feel like those are the type of people who should stick to 9 to 5s.
I think you being extra petty, right?
I'm not being petty.
Slightly.
No, because this is a general statement,
Mhm.
and I don't think I'm being petty. If we're talking about
agree.
scams, we're talking about people.
I think some
feel
people
like
are made
it's a
for a
scam.
9 to 5, and some people are made
Exactly.
for something that's a little different. For me, 9 to 5 works really well for me because like when I leave my job, I don't think about if that my job is successful or not. I don't think about anything about my job. And if I was like had my own business, I would constantly. But that's my nature too. I'm a worrier. I would constantly be worried about that. I'd be like, there's always something to do.
But no, like I was gonna say, like I understand what you're saying, but like I was gonna say, like I feel like it's a scam to sign up for things that you're not fit for.
Mhm.
That's why I'm bringing it up, because
Yeah.
I've done that before. Like I've signed up for front desk positions, and I'm not a smiling ass person.
Yeah.
And they say we want smiling faces. I come to the interview, hi, hey, what's up? Like, you know, I'm all smiley, ready to go, but as soon as I get the job, I'm just like, what's up? This is my face. What's up? Period. Like, right? But I mean, that's a scam to me. Like, I shouldn't have done that. Now that I'm older, I'm like, well,
Mhm.
now I get why I
It's
used
a
to get
scam
fired.
or is it a finesse?
I think it's a scam. Scam and finesse are one and the same. Finesse is just
I'm
a
gonna
cool
say,
way to say.
I'm gonna say
Some
that.
cool sauce.
No, because again, there's a difference. Finesse is the way you go about doing things. Scam is just you absolutely just doing something wrong. Like you just all the way wrong. I can say certain things to make sure a situation goes smooth over in my favor, versus absolutely doing something wrong to incriminate not only myself but you at the same time.
No, but I mean, you can get a job and finesse it to the point where, yeah, it works for you both. Like, I've had jobs where I worked as a caterer and a waitress or whatever. I worked for a catering company. And when the big bosses were around, here I go with the smile. Here I go doing extra work. When they're not there, I'm doing me. Like, I mean, yeah, you can finesse it in that sense. But before, I used to just be me the whole time. Just like,
I mean, cause like my 9 to 5, it's a finesse. It's a constant finesse. All day. Literally, I think 85% of my job is finesse. Literally, but what they do, it's like killing the game. Seriously. They're not jipping people out of their money or nothing like that. It's just that because I'm in a certain position and when issues arise, I have to say certain things a certain type of way. I'm not necessarily lying. I just have to smooth over the truth so that they can relate and understand.
well, so that I wouldn't call a scam. Because again, like I would just go off. Sorry.
That's the only reason why I say finesse and a scam is totally
No, I'm
different
talking.
things.
I totally like scammed them at the job interview. Put on those acting skills, and when I got the job, I was a total asshole because I just didn't want to be there. And that's the thing too. Like you can't keep working jobs you don't want to be at because you're not going to put your all. And then that's not fair to the people who really own businesses. So I mean, the job I have now, that's a job that I can actually put my all into because I like doing organization stuff. I like researching, so I like doing stuff like that. But yeah, the finesse comes when I'm talking to people on the phone, talking to sponsors on the phone. Pissed, but the voice is cool.
Yeah.
Calm, collected, sweet, all of that. So I mean, yeah, that's where that comes in. So that's how I feel about it. Shit.
Next topic.
Oh, okay. You trying to run my show or something?
No, absolutely.
Oh shit!
I
was like,
trying to,
damn. Okay.
My bad. You know what? I'm gonna sit back and.
Sit back. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Which place is known for scamming? What place has the most scammers?
Like city, state.
Whatever.
I got a top 3.
Okay, go for it.
New York,
Okay.
Atlanta,
Okay.
Florida.
Florida. Damn, a lot of people said Florida.
Mhm.
Okay, so why do these places have the most scammers? Like, why are they known for scamming? Educate me.
One mindset of the people, like if I know I can get over on you real quick, real fast, like without you even realizing. Like it's a known factor. Like you can't go to New York and not like know somebody. Why? Because people get finessed a lot there. They scamming like crazy.
That's why I would never visit New York.
Not too much on New York.
I'm sorry.
I'm just keeping it back. I'm just keeping it
I'm
back.
sorry.
Atlanta, well we know that's black. That's what we call that Wakanda.
So you're trying to attach scamming to black people?
I'm not attaching
I'm just
scamming
trying to
because
make it
again,
clear.
it's not just black people that live in Georgia. That's a fact.
I mean, you mentioned the black people.
I'm just saying like that's Wakanda.
Got you.
So I'm saying like if there's an ability to get over on somebody, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people in that state, whether black, white, Hispanic, Latino, finessing somebody out of something. Just gift of gab.
What type of things would they scam in Atlanta?
It depends on what they're looking for. Depends.
So why did
We-
everyone say Florida?
Because Florida's just like kind of.
I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, Florida is a different type of environment.
Mhm.
It's like survival in the fittest of Florida. Like that's how I feel. Except for Miami. Miami's
Absolutely.
nice. But other than that, I would never go anywhere else in Florida.
But Miami is like the big league scammers. In
yeah,
my
because a lot
opinion.
of females, like you gotta think about it. Females be on their like A game.
I
trying to
think
get-
part of it right now is sugar daddy culture is so big.
Ooh, sugar daddy
And
culture.
to me, the sugar daddy culture kind of does, you associate it a little bit with a scam because you portray yourself to be this type of person.
Ooh,
Like
y'all got the tea on
I have heard
scams.
that.
it's just like if you really watch like think about even overseas, like you can go to Paris, you're gonna get finesse. You're gonna get finesse. Again, Kim Kardashian got involved in Paris. I'm just saying, if you look at the spectrum, like the truth always sticks out like a sore thumb no matter
I've been
what.
to
You know
Paris.
what I'm saying? The truth is always gonna stick out. So if you really look at like where do most of these things kind of take place, you're gonna find a lot of answers. You will find Texas on the list. Texas definitely on the list. They ain't top 5, but they definitely on the list.
Okay.
I can,
Why are we
I
on
can
the
see
list?
Have you been to Houston? Have you been outside of your neighborhood in Dallas, Texas?
I've been to Austin. I've been to Houston when I was younger, but not as an adult.
Man, just Dallas alone, right there.
How is Dallas a scam?
You just,
I haven't
It's
experienced
the
it.
mindset.
It's hard if you
Scammer
haven't
has a certain type of
experienced
mindset. You have to
Yeah.
understand.
I know, but like, what kind of scammers are like living in Dallas? Like, what the
like,
fuck's
you have to
happening?
think, like, to me, when
know
I think of
thieves
Dallas,
live in Dallas.
It's hard to
Okay.
say what kind of, because scammer is such a broad statement. Like
when I think
a group of people can be a scammer, and it
Yeah.
could be a credit card scammer, and it could be somebody trying to finesse money from an old man before he dies.
yeah,
So like to me, if you think like you kind of have to narrow it down of like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Because different places are going to be known for different things.
yeah,
Places where there's a lot of tourists, New York, a lot of the European
That's-
cities.
that's
Those
the
are going to be
point.
where you see the scamming of people trying to pull the wool over the eyes of tourists and trying to finesse tourists. Because I mean, when I go to Mexico or have been to Jamaica or
Mexico.
you know,
on the
Mexico
list.
is number one because like you go to these flea markets and stuff, and they'll start the price at $40, but then you negotiate down to $3.
Okay, here I'll give you a better one. Find out where the most cities be having these places like even Las Vegas. Like find out where all these places where child trafficking happens.
Oh.
That's how you understand.
Oh. Looks like I have to
Finesse.
do my damn research.
It's like to get a kid to walk away from what they know and tour them into a whole nother zone. Like that's a fun that. That's a scam, man. Like it's a huge scam, and it's like the biggest thing that never really gets talked about in the country. How many kids come up missing?
Yeah.
That's a big ass scam.
That is a big ass scam.
And nobody really pay attention to it. It just so happened that all I watch is CNN.
People
So-
they pay attention to it, but they don't attach it to like being a scam. Like they don't attach it to that. So, but that's interesting you brought it up, but that is a fucking another story. Okay, you guys, this is all the time we have. I want to thank you, Josh, JG. Sorry for coming. Okay, and you be blessed.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be blessed. Thank you, Zach and Skylar, for your voices. Always a pleasure.
Sorry I was late.
It don't matter. We over it. This is Served on Sundays. It's your girl Victoria, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.